Hello Year 7, so this week we are looking at rhythms. This is a recap for some of you, plus some more information, and for some of you this is brand new information. So for this lesson you need to follow through this video. There'll be times where you need to pause to complete little tasks and then continue with the video. So for this lesson you'll need a pencil and some paper. So could you pause the video and get yourself set up ready for that. So all of you have done this. Do you remember how to read a rhythm grid? I want you to have a little, pause the video, have a little go at clapping these rhythms. So if I just take it off pause, so if we remember, each square is a beat and we clap when we see the dots. Sometimes we just have one beat in the square, sometimes we have two and they are quicker, so they're like half a beat. So this second line, if I clap this second line, it would be like this. Da 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 da, that's done. Okay? We are not going to be doing big dots in grids. We are going to actually learn what rhythm notation looks like. So this is a recap for my classes, but some other classes this might be brand new. So here's some rhythms we need to learn. Our first rhythm we need to learn, you don't need to write anything yet. First rhythm we need to learn is a semi-breve. Now this is worth 4 beats. So this is why I've only got one of these across the whole top 4 boxes, because when we clap this rhythm, we actually need to just count 4 beats in our head. Okay, or if we're playing it on a keyboard, ding, we would hold it down for 4 beats. Okay, next we have minims. Now as you can see, these only come every 2 beats. They last 2 beats. So if we're going to clap this line of minims, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or if we were to sing it, da, da. So we count 2 beats in our head for each minim. Then we have crotchets. These, as you can see, come in 1 per beat. They are 1 beat each. So this line would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you'd sing it, dum, da, da, da. No waiting, not any quicker than that beat we have going on. Quavers, the next one's not a bag of crisps. These are worth half a beat each, as you can see, because we can fit 2 of these in each square. So this line would be clapped 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Finally, we come across semi-quavers. Now we can fit 4 of these in the time of 1 beat. So they are a quarter, they last a quarter beat each. So each little note is 1/4 of a beat. And these are super quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is how we clap those. So here's a little task for you. Just in your head, you don't need to write anything down yet. Just from looking at the screen, can you match up the rhythms with their values? I literally just said it, so see what you can remember. So pause now, see if you can match them up. So you should have had this as a match-up. 4 beats, 2 beats, 1 beat, half a beat, and quarter of a beat. Now, do you remember what these are called? Pause. And there they are, semi-breve, minim, crotchet, quavers, semi-quavers. Now, the first thing I want you to write down is I want you to copy this information down on your piece of paper. Okay, next, time for some maths. Who said we don't do maths in music? This is a little task I want you to do. I'll ask you to pause in a moment, but see if you can add up these beats. Now I'm just going to doodle. So we've got a crotchet, add a crotchet. So crotchet is 1 beat, add another crotchet is another beat. So 1 add 1 is 2. If you come over here, 1, add a half, add another half. So 2 halves make a whole, plus 1. Basically 1 plus 1 is 2 again. So if you pause now and see if you can do the rest. Okay, and here's some answers. So there's the one I just did for you. The next one, we've got 2 plus 1 is 3. Just done that one for you as well. Then we have 2 halves, which make 1. Add another 2 halves, which make 1, so that's 2 as well. Then we had a semi-breve is semi-breve, so 4 plus 4 is 8. Then we have 4 plus a minim, which is 2, so 4 plus 2 is 6. Next we have these. Remember, these are a quarter each, and 4 of them together make 1. So 1 add 1 is 2. And again, all of these make 1, plus these two together make 1, so 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, time to clap now. Now we kind of know our new rhythm notations, what they look like. We're going to have a go at clapping these rhythm grids. Okay, in the same way you did before, we're going to start from this side, left to right, left to right. So I'll pause there, have a go at clapping this rhythm grid. So the first one, we're going to have 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. Second line should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third line should sound like this. 1 and 1, 1, 2. Fourth line should sound like this. Because it's 4 beats. Nice and easy. What you could do if you want to, if you've got someone else in the room with you or in your house, then get them to clap one line while you're clapping another and see if you can do them together at the same time for a little challenge. Right, now, your task. Another task for you to do on your piece of paper. I'll ask you to pause in a minute. I want you to draw a grid that looks like this, and I want you to input the beats in here to create your own rhythm grid. For example, I'm going to do one. I'm going to have a minim here. Oh, not very good pen. I'm going to have a crotchet. Sorry, yours would be much neater because you won't be drawing on a computer. And I'm going to have another crotchet. Okay, and my next line, I'm going to have, start with minim again. Then I'm going to have some quavers. I can hear some people shouting at me, I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong? This here, I cannot have this here because I've got a minim, and a minim needs to last for 2 beats. So if I try and find my eraser, here we go. So if you've got a minim, you need to leave the space next to it blank, okay? So if you pause now to get yourself some time to complete this task. So now the next task is a little trickier. We're starting to have a look at what's called a time signature. Now, time signature is what we find at the beginning of a piece of music, and it tells us how many beats there are in a bar. Now, a bar is this from here to here. This is a bar. You can see this is a bar line, and from here to here is a bar, okay? And this one here tells us we need 4 beats in a bar. So the top number tells us how many beats, and the bottom number tells us what kind of beat. And we're just going to work simple terms for now. So the 4 at the bottom, 4 represents crotchet beats, because we can fit 4 crotchet beats in one big whole beat of a semi-breve. So all we need to know is when there's a 4 at the bottom, we're counting crotchet beats. The number at the top tells us how many we can fit in that bar. So for example, this one, we've got 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beat, 4 beat, okay, in one bar. And then again, the next bar, 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat. And this is a rest here. We'll have a look at rests another time, but it means we just pause for that last beat. On this second one, we need 3 beats in a bar. So we have 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat, and there's the bar line. Start again. 1 beat, this is a minim, so we hold it on. The second beat will come there, 2 beat, 3 beat, and etc. This one, we'd have 2 crotchet beats in the bar. Now we've got 2 quavers here, they make 1, 2 quavers make 2. There's our 2 beats. Oh, I should put a 2 there. And again here, 1 beat and 2 beats. So in total, in each bar, there's only 2 beats in this bar. So only 2 beats in this bar. 1, 2. Okay, so that's what a time signature is used for. What we're going to have a go do now, you're going to pause in a moment, I'll ask you to, is copy these this kind of structure out into your piece of paper. It's just one straight line with some bar lines in the middle, so it shouldn't be too difficult, with that time signature of 4/4. So we're thinking of 4 beats in a bar, and you are going to compose your own 4-bar rhythms using what we've got down here. Similar to the rhythm grids we've just done, but we're doing it in a different structure, so it starts to look like a piece of music. So for my first one, once I've drawn my lines out, I'll have a crotchet. Make sure you fill them in. I'm going to have 2 crotchets, and I'm going to have some quavers. Careful not to draw too big, because you will find space runs out quite quickly. So far I've got 1, 2, 3 beats. I've got room for another beat, so I could have put 4 semi-quavers in there. I could put another 2 quavers in there, or I could just put another crotchet in there. Okay, and that adds up to 4. 1, add 1, add 1, add 1 is 4. Okay, you could cheat at some points. You could be lazy and just, I have 1 bars, 1 whole semi-breve, nice and simple. That lasts a whole bar. But I don't want you to have 8 bars of semi-breves. That's a bit boring. Okay, so challenge yourself. So once you've done them all, add them up. Do they all add up to 4? Okay, so pause now and have a go at that task. Okay, so all we've done so far is kind of the beginner's task. So there is an extension task, which is a bit more challenging, which I'm going to go on to. But so you can have a listen to the extension task, see if you fancy having a go. If not, could you now send a photo of your work you've done today to your music teacher? Okay, extension. If you can, there's plenty of resources on the internet. If you go onto Google Images, type in music stave, you can probably print one out. Or get a ruler, 5 straight lines, nice and easy. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to have a go at putting rhythms and notation together. Okay, so like kind of composing your own melody, but written form. So I'm going to demonstrate each step that we need to go through. So once you've done your 5 lines, so do your 5 lines first of all. If you need to pause at any point as I'm talking, then do that. Or if you want to watch all the instructions, then pause and then do them. Or if you want to break it up, whichever way you find easier. So draw your 5 lines. Next, I've got some lists here of things I need. I need a treble clef. See if you remember back to last week to do a treble clef. Now my treble clef is going to be super dodgy because I'm drawing with a mouse, not an actual piece of paper. That's, yeah, oh well, that'll do. So I've got my treble clef. Now I need some bar lines. So I'm going to make it nice and big. And I'm going to put 2 bars here. I'll put 1 in the middle, 1 bar line at the end. And I'm going to do this. So you can have yours across 1 whole line if you like, but I like to have a bit of space. I need to draw another treble clef here. There we go. And so I've got my bar lines, and now I need my time signature. So I'm going to draw 4, 4, 4, 4. Lovely. Now, the next thing to do is to decide what rhythms you're going to have. I would do it this way. I would do the 2 things separately to make it a bit easier. So similar to what we've just done in the other task, I'm going to decide what my 4 beats of rhythm are going to be here. So you can have a look back at your rhythms that you've written down. I'm going to have a crotchet, crotchet, minim. I'm going to do the same for this one. Crotchet, crotchet. Oh, goodness me. Sorry about that. Crotchet, crotchet, minim. And for this bottom line, I'm going to do some quavers. Quaver, 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 minim. And then for my last one, I might be lazy and hold down 1 big long note. Okay, so that once you've decided on your rhythm and you've checked each one adds up to 4, then you can look back at your last week's task or the week before task actually, to remember your note names. So remember, every good boy deserves football, face in the spaces, that's all. Okay, so see if you remember your note names. You should have that written down. And then you can start to decide where you want your notes. So you've got your rhythm here. So my first crotchet, I'm going to decide, I'm going to start that on C here. So I'm going to draw a crotchet. Now, we're going to now talk about this thing called here down called stems. Which way do we put our stems? So stems are these lines attached to the notes. Okay, I can't leave it without a stem filled in. That's not a note. If I left it unfilled in, that would become a minim, but I want a crotchet. So let's go through the rules. So notes that are lower than the B, so when I say than the B, this middle line, okay? Notes that are lower than the middle line, the stems go up, and we put them on the right-hand side, okay? So notes that are lower. So now my next note, I'm going to come across, I need another crotchet note, and I'm going to do that as an E there. Okay, and it's still below that middle line, so my stem is going to go up. Okay, my final one is a minim, and I'm going to, I might put that on this middle line, on this B. Okay, now, what's the rule for, if a note is on the B line, the stem can go up or down, but not both. So if it's going down, it goes on the left-hand side. But you don't ever see that, do you? You don't ever see that funny, strange thing. So you have to choose one. If it's on the middle line, you choose up or down. I'll choose down. Let me erase that bit there. Okay, so going up, it goes on the right-hand side. Going down, it goes on the left-hand side. Okay, let's finish my melody. I'm going to have Topsy there. Now, that's a terrible circle, sorry. I'm on that I'm above the middle line. So notes that are higher than B have stems that go down. So I'm going to have a stem that goes down. I'm going to keep going up. I'm higher than the middle line, so my stem is going to go down. And now, I'm going to land on that B again. I might have the stem going up this time because I can, because it's a B and I can have it either way. And then I'm going to carry on with my melody. I mean, this melody I think is going to sound quite awful. I'm going to have two A's because I'm not thinking about what notes I'm using. I'm just bunging them in anywhere. And I'm going to have two G's. It's just to practice drawing notes and rhythm together. And a minim there. And then I'm going to end where I started on one big fat C. Okay? So there is your extension task. So if you want to pause, then you can have a pause now and have a go at your own version of that. Okay, once you've got a nice little melody that you've composed, you can have a go at hear what it sounds like. Find a virtual piano either online or on an app. And there are so many that you can find. So if I just exit this PowerPoint, discard annotations, I'm going to go to my browser, I'm going to type in virtual piano. Now this is where you might need to remember the other rhyme. C is to the left of the two black keys. And go to virtual piano. You should have on your piece of paper your melody that you've just written. There are many of these. There's so many of these. There's many apps as well. There's an app called Perfect Piano, which is quite good. And then I started on C. And I can't remember what my melody was because I deleted it. But then you could have a go at playing your melody, see what it sounds like. You may not like it, so then you may want to go back to your score and redo some notes to make it sound a bit nicer. Okay, so pause now and have a go at doing that for your extension. Okay, so you should have completed your melody and rhythm on stave, plus had a go at playing it on a piano. Next thing I want you to do, if you haven't done so already, is to send me a photo of your music teacher, photo of the work you have completed today. Thank you. Well done.